Welcome to this episode of the Down the Pub podcast. Today's guest has played at Plymouth, Cardiff, Bolton, Wolves, Burton, Colorado, Portsmouth, MK Dons. He's also a former Irish under-21 international. Welcome to the show, Cavalry FC's Joe Mason. Welcome to the show, bud.
Thank you. You make me sound like a journeyman there.
It's some CV though, isn't it?
Well, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I've had a few clubs.
It goes to show you're wanted, man. That's the main thing, right? So,
that's a good way of saying it.
So before we start the show, we normally just do like a couple of like little easier questions just to get you into the flow of things. So what's the first pair of football boots you ever remember owning?
I do remember the black and white total 90s.
Nice.
Yeah, old school. Real nice.
Yeah, like the past couple of people have all been Predators, so it's kind of nice to have something.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, so
I was Nike. I was Nike when I was younger.
I definitely blame Beckham on that one. So, what's your favorite hobby outside of football?
Outside of football, I'm quite easygoing. I'm easily pleased, so I'm happy just going out for a coffee and having a little walk. I don't have many other hobbies. I don't really watch much sports, to be honest, either. It's just football.
So you're not like a stamp collector or?
Nah, nothing. I'm trying to think actually.
You don't play FIFA or nothing like that?
I've never been into it.
Wow, you've actually got?
I've never got into it. Yeah, I like to think so. I like to get out. I like to get out and about.
Love it. Team you supported as a kid?
Plymouth Argyle.
Wow. Ski hill or beach?
Ski hill, I reckon.
Yeah, and you'll have to get used to all that snow when you live in Calgary, man. So
yeah. So bad.
But -30 is kind of it's quite harsh. And what's the first car you owned?
First car I had a Ford Focus.
It's never like the footballer's dream of like having like a Ferrari, right? So
no. My parents pretty much bought that for me as well.
So that's basically like your in-betweener's car. All right, man. So just get into it here. So here in Canada, we all know that like Tommy Wheeldon Jr. is a very suave person. He's got the hair and the suits and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't ever see him as a kind of wheeler dealer. So how did he manage to sell you on leaving England to come and play for Cavalry?
Do you know what? It was a weird one because I know Jordan Santiago, the goalkeeping coach. And the kit man at MK was the kit man at Cardiff when I was with Jordan. So it's like it's quite long-winded, but they were just talking. And the kit man pulled me one day at MK, said, "Would you fancy Canada?" I was like, "Yeah, I actually would." And it was just, it's sort of like snowball effect from there. And then I spoke to the manager and he told me all about it. And it's something I was looking to do anyway. I was looking to try something new. And the more he's telling me about it, how it's a new league, it's exciting, it's something I could be a big part of, and it is. I've had a lot of people say the same thing to me, that it's quite a random one, but it's something I'm really happy with, and I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, man, I can imagine. Like it's. I think it's interesting that like obviously it's a new. You're going from one of the most traditional leagues in the world to something that's brand new, and they've done an awful lot of stuff that's right so far. So it's a lot of leagues start here in North America that just kind of like fall apart. So like I think that you're going to be in a good league. So so you've just turned 30. Sorry to like I'm 42, so I'm not trying to say you're old or nothing like that. But you're still in your prime, right? So what can Cavalry FC fans expect from Joe Mason?
Yeah. I'd say my biggest strength is probably my first touch and my finishing in and around the box. That's where I score, I'd say, majority of my goals. I don't get many from outside the box, but I am happy to shoot. As a striker, you're judged on the goals, and that's what I'll be trying to bring to the team. I work hard. I'll run myself into the ground, and I try and make my own luck in terms of getting the goals as well.
Amazing. So you're going to be going into a bubble in Winnipeg, how you look, how much for, how do you think that's going to work out
Yeah,
for
I
you?
can't
Like, have they told you? Have they told you much about like what happened like last year with last year's one and all that kind of
I've
stuff?
not
Like,
heard. No, I've not
oh,
heard anything about last year. To be honest, should I? Should I have, or should I just
yeah,
wait and see?
you definitely should have asked, to be honest.
Are you gonna enlighten me, or?
No, you're gonna find out yourself, man. It's too late. You gotta do your research, bud. You gotta do your research. So, no, like it's a lot. It's a bit better this time because like last year they played in a university, like an AstroTurf, like field, but this time it's in a proper stadium in Winnipeg. So and
Yeah,
the hotel is like right downtown Winnipeg, so it's gonna be easier. But like last year was like nearly 2 months the players spent in the bubble, not being able to see anybody outside of it, and
yeah, it's long.
and the food was awful. So that was the biggest that was the
Really?
biggest yeah, that was the biggest complaint. So yeah, just bring like, you know what, fill up your suitcase with like baked beans and hot noodles and you're gonna be set.
It sounds.
So you've had experience in North America playing for the Rapids. How did you find your time there, and like how different was the football to obviously the rough and tumble of the championship?
Yeah, completely different in that sense. Not as physical in terms of the challenges. Saying that, all the boys, what I did notice about the MLS was how fit and how much of an athlete pretty much every footballer was. But there was a bit of a difference in terms of the style of play and the all-round quality on the pitch. I noticed the attacking players in the MLS were really, really good, and the rest of the pitch wasn't as balanced. So that was the biggest thing I sort of took from the MLS compared to England. England's more, obviously there's a lot more games. You're playing Saturday, Tuesday for the whole season, and the MLS was pretty much just Saturday, which is nice, really, I think. So you go into the games feeling fresh. Apart from that, obviously Denver's mile high city, so I couldn't breathe for the first month I was there. So I was coughing up blood and all sorts. That was tough. But yeah, apart from that, I think that's pretty much everything. I think.
You were coughing up blood?
Yeah, I asked the doctor, "Is this normal?" And he went, "Yeah, it is."
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because obviously you're training really hard, and there's hardly nowhere near as much air. And I was a little bit worried, but he put me at ease and said, "Yeah, don't worry about it."
Yeah.
It stopped. It stopped after a couple of weeks.
Winnipeg is like the flattest place on earth, so
really?
You're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. Yeah. So like these guys have been in an off season since September of last year. That's a very long time, like to be
wow.
Yeah, that's the last time that there was a game in the CPL. So you've obviously just come off the back of a full season with MK. Yeah. So do you think you have a leg up now, like to start going crazy?
Yeah, well, I was a little bit worried that the boys would be a lot further ahead than me, but I didn't realise it was last September. That's mad. I've been keeping my fitness good anyway. Like I'm starting to ramp it up again now, but I know the boys, they've been training for a while now.
Yeah,
it's been a good couple of months, I think. I still think they might be ahead of me in terms of the fitness, but I've got time. I've still got a little bit of time to get myself up to a decent level before I meet up with them.
I think as well, like you also got the match sharpness. Like these guys haven't played a proper game, and like it's like since last year, so it's going to be I just think that for everybody, it's going to be kind of tough that like you're going to be playing 2 games a week or wherever, and you haven't had preseason. It's going to be nuts. So just kind of kicking it back to your career, like you started off playing for your home team club Plymouth, so not many people get to do that. Like, so how cool was that to play in front of basically your own people?
Yeah, that's one of the best things I feel like I've done, because I grew up a big fan. I still am. I always will be, and that was one of my happiest times playing for Plymouth. And it's glad to see that they're now sort of getting back to where they was before.
So like you made a move then to Cardiff. Like, so how hard was it to leave that? Like, I mean, you've been playing with them since you were basically a kid, right? So how hard was it to leave all that behind and move to Wales?
Yeah, it was really tough. I was pretty young at the time. There was a lot to take in, but within, I'd say, a month or so, I felt completely settled. There are really good people there who helped me do that. And the initial move was tough, but I loved my time at Cardiff as well. That was a great place to play and live as well.
Yeah, you got to do like every kid's dream of playing at Wembley, like never mind like scoring a goal at Wembley. So did you actually remember much of the goal and like the celebration afterwards, or was it just like just blink of an eye?
Yeah, it's tough. It's now and then it pops up on TV on like, you know, the old games revisited, and I don't really remember the moment. It's tough but I watch it back and I think, you know, I did actually do that, but it's crazy to think. I remember the feeling was just pure euphoria. It was just crazy, out of body feeling, and it was just such a huge moment. I look back on, and I can always look back on with good memories.
Like obviously, like the Cardiff Stadium is like the fans are nuts. What was it like walking out? Like, what was it like walking out at Wembley in front of like even?
Yeah,
what like was it?
It was mad because I ain't gonna lie, I was quite nervous that day. I was really nervous actually, because it's a weird story. The bus on the way to the stadium was we were late. We got stuck behind loads of traffic. Normally you get to the stadium about an hour and a half before the game. We got there 45 minutes before kickoff. So there was no time to really think about nothing. It was just everyone just get rushed, get dressed, get out for the warm up. And I think that helped because you ain't got too much time to think about it. And but the Cardiff fans were nuts. Yeah, they're brilliant. But also you got the Liverpool fans on the other side as well. We were just as crazy. And it was a crazy day. And yeah, full house. It was unbelievable.
What was it like sitting on that bus then, like when you're stuck in traffic, like looking at your watch, going like, Jesus?
Yeah, you've got the, you know, like the people, not the players. You got the staff who you can see them panicking a little bit. Are we going to make it? We got the police escort and everything, but we were just stuck in crazy lockdown in traffic. You physically couldn't get through, and because it was like, I remember it was just a double, just two lanes, and you couldn't get the bus through the middle. So it's just, you weren't even thinking about the game. You're just thinking about, is this game going to go ahead on time, blah, blah, blah. And then we were rushing out the bus, getting dressed. It was just a crazy experience. And looking back, I think that helped.
Yeah, like thank God that you didn't get stuck in traffic beside a bunch of Liverpool fans. See, there's always that,
right? Yeah, that's lucky.
But you did you pushed like a Liverpool team, like he's went to penalties and everything like that. Like when you look at the team that Liverpool had, like Gerrard, Suarez, Henderson, like what was the plan that Malky had set up for you guys for the day, like to try and counteract that insane amount of talent?
Yeah, well, to be fair, the plan worked completely. The way we did our game plan throughout the week before, we didn't do too much more than what we would have done for just a normal league game. There's a few, obviously there's a cup finals, a few more details, but we did sort of set up to play for set pieces, hit them on the counter attack, and it worked. You know, we went ahead. They obviously scored, and then they went 2-1 ahead, and we got the equalising goal from a set piece. And the game plan was perfect. It was just a shame we lost out on the penalties.
I can tell you that every person who wasn't a Liverpool fan that day was like cheering for you guys. So
really,
yeah, it was like it was just like kind of that David Goliath thing, and everybody just like it was like wow, this team is getting pulled close by like Cardiff. So and you're obviously like that around at Cardiff at the time, like they'd just been taken over by Vincent Tan, and there was a bit of money coming into the club and stuff like that. So he's got promoted, and you were a big part of that. Like, so what's it like being part of a team that's just like just full of like just every game you turn out, like you almost feel like you're going to win. Like, what's that experience like?
It was unbelievable looking back. I remember at the time there was never a game we went into where we thought we know the Championship's a tough league, we know that, but we just had such a big squad, and I think that there's a number of players in the squad who had been promoted, and that's what was the difference from the season before when we were in the playoffs. Malky brought in, you know, quite a few older, experienced pros, you know, like Craig Bellamy, Hyder Helgeson, players like that who had been promoted, and well, I don't think Bellamy's had, but he had played at the top level, and that just sort of brought us over the edge a bit more from the previous season. we're just going into games thinking if we do the game plan, we're going to win. And it was a real nice feeling.
And it's like it's always a cliche that, like, you know, when you're playing with like top tier players like that you, it kind of improves you, but like does it actually help you, like when you're training with Craig Bellamy, like you see the runs he makes or the decisions he makes, did that like bring your game like to the next level yourself?
Yeah, he's very demanding in terms of the training. So if you're not on it, he'll let you know. 100% he'll let you know. He's brilliant as well. On the other side of things, he'll help you, he'll pull you aside. But if you're not on it, he'll definitely tell you, you know, buck up your ideas, sort of thing.
He just has like a set of golf clubs on the sideline just to threaten you a little bit.
Yeah.
So like he's made it to the Premier League, and obviously there was a big change because whenever a team gets promoted, players like come in and stuff like that. But like, you were a huge part of them getting promoted, and it feels like you never got a full, like a proper crack at being able to play in the Premier League. Like, so how frustrating was that for you, man?
That was really, really tough. Even looking back now, it's really tough to think about because, like you said, I felt like I had a good season before, helped the team get promoted, and I was involved a few times on the match days, but I never come on. And looking back, that's the biggest regret of my career, not actually stepping on the pitch, as I felt like I deserved to at least get on, you know. And that was hard.
Had anything changed in training or anything like that? Like, were you still on it? Like, it just seems odd that you wouldn't...
Yeah, I was on it. I was doing well. I was sort of told, you know, you will get your chance. I was getting told that a lot, and then it got to a point where it was quite obvious I wasn't going to get my chance, and I just wanted to go and play. So I went out and I went to Bolton on loan.
So then
I sort of pushed for that.
Oh, well, I mean, like that's like at the end of the day, like, do you want to sit on the bench in the Premier League or do you want to play games, right? I mean, that's it's a no-brainer, right? But Ollie came in then like halfway through the season, or towards Christmas, I think it was when Malky was let go. Like, so did you have much contact with him then when you were out on loan? Like, was it like...
Well, my loan finished literally the day he got his first day was my first day back from my loan. So I come back and then he brought in quite a few players, and I wasn't there anyway. I wasn't playing, so I was sort of down the pecking order massively, and it was quite obvious again I wasn't going to play. So I went back to Bolton again.
So I know he brought in like half of that team. I think that he was managing in Norway. Like it was Norway Central in Cardiff. But having experienced him at the club, and then he didn't do very well, and he got sacked and stuff like that. Looking at him now at United, like, were you surprised when he got the job and how well he's doing?
At the time, I really liked him. You know what I mean? I got on well with him. When I went out on loan to Bolton, I had a good spell, and he actually gave me a 4-year contract at the end of that season, and was saying I'd be a big part of the plans next season. He was a good manager. He was maybe I've seen him say maybe it come a bit soon for him, but you could see the ideas he wanted to do was good and it was right. Just the squad at the time was huge, and I don't think everyone was on the same wavelength and pulling together in the same direction.
So how difficult is that as a player? Like, I don't think people appreciate like how difficult it is that when managers are changing like that, like quickly, like you know, you're probably like one manager kind of suits the way that you want to play, and then another kind of changing. Like, how does that affect yourself?
Yeah, that's why you see there's a lot of managers who take players with them wherever they go, sort of thing. And the players are happy to go because they know they suit the style. A new manager can come in and they can not like the best player from the season before, you know. So you never really know where you stand when a new manager comes in. It's sort of like a fresh start for everyone. And you just got, when a new manager comes in, you got to try and win him over like everyone else has to. So it can be tough, and it can change your whole time at that club, if you know what I mean. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think you need to worry about that at Calgary. I think Tommy's like gonna be there for a while. Like
Yeah,
he's Mr. Calvary, so I don't think you need to worry
really.
about him. Yeah, I don't think you need to worry about him changing anytime soon. But so you then went off to Wolves, and that was just before they had their big money investment from, is it
Yeah,
Fosun, the Chinese?
Fosun, yeah.
Yep. Like so. You joined in the January. They took over in the July. So how did the club change like when that new investment came in? Did everything like just get torn up and start again, or like
Yeah,
what did they do?
there was rumours Kenny Jackett was the manager. And we were in Ireland in pre-season, and there was rumours that we were meant to be getting. There's a manager. He was a Spain manager. I can't say his name. Lopetegui. I don't know how you say it. I've definitely said it wrong. But anyway, he was meant to come to. The rumor was he was coming to Wolves, and then we all saw on Sky Sports that he just took over the Spain national team job. So like the manager Kenny Jackett knew he was going, and then we got back to Wolves and Nuno come in, and that's when things started to really change. That's when the dynamic changed completely in terms of the Portuguese. He was bringing in all these unbelievable players from Portugal who have been playing in the champ, like Ruben Neves, Diogo Jota, many more. And yeah, that's when the owners started really spending money. And again, that's the time when I was sort of pushed aside.
It's like I feel like you're this person that's like attracting money, like you know what I mean, like Calgary are going to get like a huge influx of like money from Russia or something.
That'd be
Like,
nice, yeah.
So obviously when you joined, like you were like it was a fairly big transfer fee and stuff like that. Like so, like did Nuno come over to you and say, "Listen, I'm bringing in all these Portuguese lads"? Like, is it said to you, or
No.
you just look at Sky Sports News and see, "Oh, we just signed that guy and he's going to be at training on Monday"?
Yeah, it's honestly, we don't get told about anything. You hear rumors that agents are talking and stuff like that. You're meant to be signing this guy and this guy, but the manager never says anything. He keeps it close to his chest. They all do. To be fair, the ones I've worked with anyway, and I think that's probably the right way to go about it. So it's just you turn up the training and someone's new in the dressing room, and it's like, who's this sort of thing. And that was like when at Wolves that season, it was like that a lot because we were bringing in a lot of players, and they were good players as well, and players I'd never really heard of. But now you look at Jota playing for Liverpool, Neves obviously doing his bits. Connor Cody was there at the time as well. They were real quality players. So I'm looking at that now and thinking, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? They've done really well, and fair play to them.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of feel bad for. Like I remember everybody feeling bad for Kenny Jack at the time because he hadn't actually done anything wrong.
No, he's done well. Yeah,
and then they brought in like was it Walter Zenga that came in first, and he was there for like 2 weeks.
Oh
or something.
Yeah. Oh so, yeah. Forgot to mention him. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he came in after. Yeah, he came in after Kenny. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah, Walter Zenga wasn't there for very long. Good, like funny guy.
So like funny as in haha, or funny like Jesus Christ, this man's mental.
He was very. I don't know what to say. Yeah, he was enthusiastic. I'll put it that way. But he was different to a lot of managers have had. But I liked him as well. He wasn't there for very long. He brought in a lot of players as well. At that time, Wolves was one of those clubs that would just chucking money at it, and Nuno got it right.
Yeah, it's kind of like it felt at the time like it was like the Man City thing, you know what I mean? Like when Man City got all that money first, they were bringing in Robinho and Joe and all, and it was just hoping that something would stick. It kind of felt that way. It wasn't like a real plan. So while you were there, you got the chance to go to Colorado. Like, so how did that move come about? And like, was that always like part of your game plan that you wanted to play abroad at some stage?
It was a bit random. It was very random. One of the lads who was at Wolves, Jack Price, good mate of mine, he signed a permanent deal with Colorado. So then there was like a bit of a link. And it come to January time, and I was meant to go on loan to a team in England. I can't remember what it was now. But that had passed. It didn't work out. So then my only other option, I wasn't going to play at Wolves, was to go abroad because of the transfer window. So the America thing come up, Colorado. We agreed I'd go out there for 6 months and then come back. And it was just a good option for me. I thought, why not? Experience something different. If I don't do that, then I'm going to go another 6 months out playing football. So, I went out there, I enjoyed it, short spell, but it sort of opened my eyes up to playing abroad.
Nice. It's also one of those kind of weird things with English players that they feel like it's a step down to move outside. But in the last few years, we're seeing so many players try it. Like, I mean, like you see, I don't think we've ever seen so many players in France, Germany, Italy that are English playing. So, I mean, it's great to see. But now, like, you start to play abroad, and then like you do Brexit and make your lives harder. So so you were playing with MK Dons the past couple of seasons, like the most hated team in all of England. So like, how was that experience playing in Milton Keynes? Like are the fans like entrenched in the fact that like they're kind of a little bit disliked by everybody else because of what happened? And like, how was the style of play there? And did you enjoy like playing in League One?
Well, with the fans, there wasn't. They're different because the club's relatively new. I think it's only about 20 years old. Different to a lot of the fans I played for. They're great fans. There's just not as many of them as other clubs I've been at. They've got, I don't know if that's because the stadium's huge and obviously they can't fill it, but they're good fans. It's a great stadium, great place to play. The style of football, the manager at the moment, Russell Martin, he plays very expansive football. The stats are crazy. Last season we had more possession than Man City and things more. But we were number one in all of them, and it took a while because he's been there 2 years now, and since I've been there, it took us a while to get that going. But to be fair, the owners stuck with him, and they're reaping the benefits for it now because the football they play is unbelievable, and I really fancy them next year to have a good go.
Nice. So, why did with saying that? Then, why did you feel it was time for a change yourself? To it feels like they're on the upward trajectory. You know, like why did you feel like it was time for a change yourself?
I think there's a few factors. Really, is obviously I did just turn 30. These sort of opportunities I don't think are going to come around too often now when you turn 30, and it was something I was looking to do in terms of trying something new. I did really enjoy myself at MK and got on really well with the manager and the staff and the players. But when this sort of opportunity arose, I thought I would regret it if I didn't take it. And I'm really up for coming out there and trying something new and playing a new league.
You're gonna love it. Like, Canada is an amazing country. Like, it's fantastic. It's just an easier way of life, and you're gonna love it. So, I'm from Dublin, so I had to ask you about your Irish roots and stuff like that. So, your man's from Ireland, right?
My mum, she's from Charlestown in Mayo.
Nice. And like, were you one of those kids that got to go there every summer, or like, have you ever been?
We went over a lot. It wasn't every summer. But I've been over a good. Well, when I was a kid, it was more like every couple of years, and then for weddings and things like that. So we used to go over a lot. Yeah,
Irish weddings are definitely something to experience. It's
the best.
Yeah, I'm still recovering from a few, to be perfectly honest with you. so you did play for the Ireland under 21s. So how did that approach? Like, you were at the under 19s as well. So how did the approach come about? Like, to for you to join the Irish setup?
Yeah, my older brother played for the 18s or 19s, something like that, and that's sort of where the link come from. I started off at the 16s and went up to like 18s, 19s, and 21s as far as I went. I think it's because my brother played for them, and they then had the link with Plymouth, and someone come over to watch me, and I did all right, and I ended up getting called up.
Like you played with some like amazing players when you were there. Like, I mean, you played with Robbie Brady, Seamus Coleman, Conor Hourihane. So like, how did you find the setup? Because Irish people are like big naysayers, and we kind of like think that everything we do is like kind of crap and stuff like that. And Noel King has a bit of a dodgy reputation, I guess. Like that's a horrible thing to say, but it's true. So how did you find the setup? Did you like compare to like the league setup? Because obviously, you know, the Roy Keane thing where he was saying that it was like the setup isn't professional and all that kind of stuff. Like, how did you find it yourself?
I thought it was very professional. I'd come from Plymouth, which was great, but it was a centre of excellence. You know, it wasn't an academy. So when I went to Ireland, I thought that was a step up again. I thought, obviously, I was young at the time. I thought it was a great setup. I won't obviously name names, but a few of the Irish boys, as I was going up for the age groups, weren't particularly happy with a lot of the organisation and things like that. But again, I talking for myself, I never had any complaints.
And like when you were doing so well at Cardiff and things like that, like were you surprised you never got the call up to the full side, considering like how much we've struggled for goals, like for like the last 10 years?
Yeah, there was a serious talk when I was at Cardiff in, I don't know what year it was. It was the year of the Euros. There was talk, like the local Cardiff press. I had having a really good season. The local Cardiff press was sort of saying that there's a chance I might get called up for the Euros and this and that. And then we played a game against Preston away, and there's rumours that Roy Keane come over to watch, and I didn't have the best of games. Didn't do anything. I mean, I hardly touched the ball. I don't know if it's true whether he come or not. But then after that game, nothing happened of it. There was no talk. So yeah, I don't know if that game sort of killed me.
But it's so weird though. Like as I said, like that, like we struggle so badly for goals that we wouldn't like take somebody who was like doing the business in the championship. It just feels like it was a missed opportunity. I'm really good friends with Roy Keane, so I will ask him if he was at that game. You know, like he's friends with everybody, that guy, right? So, so I really appreciate you giving me so much time. Like I know you're dying to get back out into the sun and to the pool and all that kind of stuff. So when can we expect you here in Canada? Are you allowed to say?
I think so, yeah. Well, I'm flying out on Sunday. Next Sunday coming.
Nice.
And obviously, with the quarantine rules and stuff like that, I've got to do 2 weeks.
So yeah, like we're all dying to see you play. As I said, like you're now the marquee signing of the league. Like, do you feel any pressure or anything like that? Because you should.
Well, I didn't until you just said that. Nah, there's always pressure. I put pressure on myself as well, so it's nothing new. But yeah, there is a bit of pressure going in, and it's up to me. I've got to do the business now, haven't I?
Yeah, man, I have no doubt that you will. And there's a great bunch of players in Calgary. They're really, really good side. Like they were the champions, the summer and fall champions the first season. And Tommy's a great manager. It's a great setup. So I think you're going to have a lot of fun there. So yeah. Just, my last question, just before I let you go back to your life. You're going to play in a 5-a-side tournament. From the players you've played with, who makes your team?
Wow. Okay. In goal, I'm not in this team, right?
You can put yourself in if you want to. If you're that
sort of person. I'm not going to put myself in.
Drop Craig Bellamy and put yourself in.
In goal, I'll go with David Marshall. Scotland's number 1 at the minute. And yeah, brilliant goalkeeper. I'll go. Who else will I have in there? This is a tough question. Ruben Neves definitely gets in. Peter Whittingham, God bless his soul, the best player I've ever played with. He's 100% and he's in, so that's 3. Connor Cody gets in there in defence. That's 4. No, I go Diogo Jota.
Jesus Christ, man, it's not a bad old team, that is it?
Nah.
Huh? Jesus, no wonder you didn't make it into it. Like,
I'll be on the bench, though. I won't even make the bench actually. Nah.
Well, if I ask you to do this next year, I'm sure you'll have Sergio Camargo in there too. So, thank you so much for giving me the time, man. It's been great chatting to you. We're all super pumped to see you in the league, and it's going to be great to actually get this thing finally started after 10 or 11 months. So, take care, safe journey, man, and we'll see you soon.
Appreciate that. Cheers, mate.